everyone, I'm back. I know I haven't posted a video in a while, but I am Midnight Strike reviewing PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. So, basically, the first question we have to ask ourselves is, what is this new game? What is this All-Stars Battle Royale stuff? Basically, it all boils down to an interview that the creators of the game had. They said, we are going to do our own version of Super Smash Bros. And if you don't know what Super Smash Bros. Is, you're either living under a rock or something or other. But Super Smash Bros. Is the flagship series for Nintendo that pits 20 to 40 to 60 different characters from the franchises of Nintendo pretty much just against each other in random all-out battles. And the object in Super Smash Bros., however, is to knock each other off the platform and of the stage and basically fall to your death. Essentially, this game is the same but different. Throughout the rest of this video, I'm going to be making, like I said, frequent comparisons, but while the two games are similar, and one did stem from the other, they're in no way, shape, or form the same game, or a rip-off or a clone. All-Stars is not a clone of Brawl, and Brawl isn't like a rip-off of any other games. But to begin, you have 20 different PlayStation characters, including Sackboy, Sly Cooper, Raiden, the new Dante, which I'm not a fan of, and I'll get more into that later, but you get characters such as Cole and Evil Cole, which, another gripe I had, it was, why didn't they just include that in the same character? They could have just made a costume for Evil Cole being Cole, and they could have had it be the same character. Now, I know there are some differences, some minor tweaks between the two characters, but when you switch out of that costume, you should be able to switch movesets too. So, just saying. So, basically, you have all these different stages that are well designed, very good, and a lot of them are cartoony, like Super Smash Bros. For the Wii, the Brawl version, has a lot of cartoony ones with some really neat effects. And this game kind of plays off on that, except for this one takes it a step further with cross-platforming elements, cross-series. So say you're playing on a stage designed for, say, Parappa the Rapper. You're going to have a Metal Gear Ray come through and just completely tear up and destroy the entire background, and then you're going to hear the Metal Gear Solid alarm go off and say, you know, and it'll start shooting missiles at you. So that's how the hazards play into it. And it's really neatly done, really well crafted, and I gotta give them props for that, you know, yay, props. So, it's a really good game in that aspect. But there are some major gripes, more so with what they didn't include. The object of the game is to, obviously, take down your opponents, but whenever you hit your opponents, you fill up your meter, and as soon as you fill it all the way up, your super attacks will spawn, starting from level 1, level 2, and then level 3, depending on how long you can charge up your attacks. And grabs are unblockable. You can block pretty much anything except for grabs. And super attacks. Super attacks is what kill, and level 1, you charge up to level 1, you're going to get a little range. It's not going to be that effective. It's still going to kill them no matter what. Any super attack will kill. So that's a guaranteed. But the thing is, do you want to risk going all the way up to level 2 or 3 for fear of losing your orbs? Because when you grab someone, you steal their orbs. Not as much as you get from punching and kicking and all that stuff, or shooting them with your main attacks. But you do steal their orbs. And punching and kicking doesn't actually steal the orbs, it just gives you AP, which is the same as orbs. It gives you extra advantages in your meter, so charges that up faster. The cross-platforming elements are very nice, and each stage has its own little unique twist. Like Twisted Metal has this track thing, and it shoots missiles at you and stuff. And the Hades one is really cool because in God of War, there's the god Hades of the underworld. You're in the underworld, and it looks exactly like Hades from God of War 3, and he uses the same attacks too. So that brings me to another section of my review, the characters. There are 20 different characters you can play as, all ranging from, say, Kratos and Raiden, the very, very serious, you know, down to business spammers, pretty much, essentially, with their combos, to Fat Princess, Sir Daniel, Nathan Drake, like those ones who don't really have much in terms of linking combos together, but they make up for it in brute force, especially apparent in Heihachi, who doesn't have any ranged attacks, but each attack, I mean, it gets you like 20 AP, and most of the other ones only get most of the other characters only get you about 5 to 15 AP per hit, but they do chain combos well together. So a lot of the characters, especially Sly Cooper, are very balanced. Sly Cooper has this ability that allows you to turn invisible, but you can't block. So you can be invisible, but they can still hit you and get AP from it. So it kind of trades off. It makes it a little bit more balanced, a little bit more fun to play as him. And he's got a lot of neat combo moves, and you can teleport around. So you can play as like Jack, Daxter, Raiden, and there's a lot of cool, unique unlockables that aren't featured in, say, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, because as that is the most recent one at the time I'm making this video, on 11/28/2012. So I know I said I was gonna make it on the 27th, but it was kind of really busy and shit. So, anyways, characters are good, stages are good. They've even got some really good like default ones where it's just a simplistic little virtual reality thing with like maybe a platform or two. But those are pretty good. Not too much in terms of action, or stage hazards, but it wasn't really meant for that. So, what is this game lacking, or what are the Achilles heels of this game, so to speak? Well, typically in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, there was a stage per game, even in, like, say, 64. And there was a stage, like, themed after each game in the series. So, say there was, like, Mario, Donkey Kong, all those. But in this game, they just kind of go off on their own random little tangent and say, oh, well, let's make an Infamous one. Let's make a Killzone one after Radic. Let's make something like a Parappa the Rapper one. But they left out a lot of the cool ones, like Heavenly Sword, Metal Gear, which I'm really pissed about because, as you all probably know if you've watched my previous videos, I am a die-hard Metal Gear Solid fan. So they left out a Metal Gear one, and they even left out a Devil May Cry one. I mean, like, what's going on with that? So stages are lacking a lot. And I mean, while the cross-platforming elements are really cool, I would really like to see some extra stages extra themed stages for those games that are missing. So, and also a build-a-stage option would have been really sweet. They could have done so much with this game. So much was left out, but also so much was like just crammed together. So there's not many customization options either. I mean, you can go in and change your title. You can go and change your picture, your little avatar thing, and you can change your minion who cheers you on if you get, say, triple kill or a good score. But I mean, you only have 2 different costume options. There should be at least 3 or 4 in my opinion. So this game's Achilles heel isn't so much what it does wrong versus what doesn't it have. Because even though you're playing through this amazing campaign and tutorial and arcade modes and verses, you still you still feel like there's something missing, you know? And there's just this hollow part, like, inside this game that just can't be explained, but you know it's there. So, I mean, like with the characters is another thing. There are 20 different characters, but they did good with the PS2 era. They've got, like, not Raiden. Raiden, they have, well, they do have the Skull Suit Raiden, so I guess that does count, with the pre-order bonus / DLC, hopefully soon to be released. That would be amazing. They've got Raiden, they've got Jak and Daxter, they've got Sly Cooper. I mean, they've got the PS2 era covered, and obviously the PS3 one. But for PlayStation 1, they've got, what, Parappa the Rapper, Koro, or Kortu, or Koto, whatever the little kitty's name is. And then they've got Sweet Tooth and Medieval Sir Daniel. That's pretty much it. They've got obscure characters for the PlayStation 1 version. What is up with that? I mean, you could have gone all out and had, like, Crash and Spyro and just all these interesting, unique characters. And you could have even gone even deeper into the Final Fantasy universe. You could have had Cloud or Tifa. I mean, why? I mean, I'm seriously praying that they release some DLC with some extra characters, because this 20 character roster is seemingly thin, especially with the Dante from the newer Devil May Cry, which, to be honest with you, not many people are anticipating to be a good game, because it's a reboot. It doesn't count. Dante looks like an emo little prick, and it's an alternate universe. It's not even in the DMC universe, but that isn't about that. This is about the character in PlayStation All-Stars being the new Dante. And guess why they didn't want the new the old Dante? Because he was already in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So put him in as a character costume. I mean, it's not that hard, guys. Come on, people. You know? But, I mean, I would have loved to have played as Cloud, swinging around that Buster Sword, you know? But I guess another time, hopefully. I mean, they've got to have something for the sequels, right? I mean, they can't put everything in the first game. They only had about, what, 10, 12 characters in Super Smash Bros. 64, Smash 64. So, I guess it is the first game, and to be fair, it's well crafted, but there's too much missing. There's too much lost in the process. So, while it is a good game, and while it is very fun and addicting and strategizing, some things just get lost in the process, as I said before. So, it's not perfect by any means. It's a very rough idea of what Super Smash Bros. Could be on a different platform if it was changed around a little bit. But in no way, shape, or form, I cannot stress that enough, in no way, shape, or form is this a clone. This is not a clone. This is just what Nintendo would, or this is just what Sony would do had they released, say, All-Stars before Smash. Or this is just their attempt at it. They even said that that's what they were going for. So obviously it's going to be similar. So I leave you with my final rating of, say, 8 out of 10. And I'm going to be preparing for my next video, which is probably going to be a classic review in my classic section of the first Metal Gear Solid. And after that, I am going to be preparing for my finale video of both newer video games and newer music tracks. I'm going to do a best of compilation of 2011 through 2012. And in future years, I'll just do that year. But, you know, since I got this new channel and everything, not new, since I got this channel, the Midnight Strike one, I'm just going to go all out in it. So, if you watch this whole thing, I thank you very much. And, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, I highly recommend it. You should all just go out and get it. So, 8 out of 10. Midnight Strike out.